Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, True Knight here. So, this video is to talk about kind of similar to like what other people do. They talk about the ban list in one video and then they wait a little bit and then digest it and talk a little more about it. And this is my conversation with that. So, what I wanted to talk about was, now that I've had a day to just kind of process, digest, and think through like decks and things like that, I'm kind of, so I said in my Banlist video that I was excited in the way that they did it, which I am completely, and in every way. I love the way that they presented the list. They made it fun. They made it really cool. We're a bunch of nerds that play with cardboard, and it was cool to see them all in sunglasses walking around like security guards. And then the dude kind of, it felt like WWE. He like laid down his box and just started spilling out all the cards and everything, and like, so it was really cool. The list itself, I felt like wasn't too thought through. The unbans and everything like that, like the unlimits, I don't really care, nor does anybody else, so I feel like those didn't need too much attention, which nobody's given attention to. The semi-limit list, I feel like is just pretty useless, but I know it's Konami's way to check to see how degenerate a card is still, and that's what they're doing with the dangers, so I get it. However, I feel like Tenpai caught strays because people don't like battle phases, and people just want to set up unbreakable boards rather than having to interact in a battle phase. And Tenpai brought a nuance to the game that made you think more than let me put up or attempt to put up 10 negates and pass. Tenpai just said, screw that, I'm gonna break your board, and then you're gonna have to figure out a way to deal with me in the battle phase. And I feel like people just really hated that nuanced idea, and so Tenpai got the hit. Do I agree with it? No. I think Tenpai was good for the game, because you had to worry about that deck at all times, and it was a different playstyle. It was a very different playstyle. So, to me, it was really cool. I enjoyed it. I'm not one of those, like, I'm not even in the Tenpai group, but I had fun with the deck. Towards the later stages, I didn't really care for it at the beginning, but before the hits all happened, I started to enjoy the deck. I took it to a couple of locals, did really well with it. And just enjoyed it. It was a good way for me to learn the game too. Like, this is what I've said in my previous Tenpai builds videos. Tenpai allowed me to just sit back and watch my opponent do their thing, and it allowed me to learn sequencing and combos and lines and all those things. And then it let me learn interactions, because then they had to deal with all of my disruption and my board breakers, and I got to see how decks interact with those kind of things. And so for me, it kind of sucked in that aspect, because now that's gone, and I felt like I learned a lot from the game by doing that. So I'm kind of salty about that. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit. We got snow in Colorado, and it always messes with me. But, yeah, kind of made me salty. With Fire King Snake Eye, I know everybody and their mother hates Snake Eye. They were glad for it to go away, yada yada yada. I was expecting the axe to happen because I was expecting Konami to push the new stuff, right? However, I thought we were going to see like a direct hit. I thought it was going to be Flame Purge, not going to lie. But I was expecting a hit to Snake Eye, so to me, I'm not surprised, but I thought the ban list was going to come in like 2 weeks. So I prepared to go to locals and try one last time to compete with like a budget Fire King Snake Eye deck against the new stuff. And it sucks because I missed that by one night. I was planning on going December 9th, and the ban list came out December 8th. I was expecting the ban list to come out like December 10th or 20th. So that kind of sucks too. I was really enjoying and having fun messing around with Snake Eye Fire King. It's a really fun deck. To me, it's really fun. A lot of interaction at all areas and all aspects of the game. But now let's go. So that kind of sucks. Do I think OSS would ever come back? I could see it, but it would be one of those things that maybe in like it kind of reminds me of like Zodiac Barrage. It's gonna come back in like 6 years. By then I don't even know if it'll be in the game, so it doesn't matter to me. The rest of the hits I don't care about branded. I play a lot of shifter kind of stuff or things I don't worry about banishing, and so I've kind of learned how to sort my way through that deck. But I wanted to make a video to talk about what my plans are, at least the beginning of the format. This is the day after the ban list. I've had about 24 hours to kind of just decompress, think it through. I was going to rush and go to locals tonight with Voiceless Voice and Ryzel, but I decided last minute not to go. Just because I wanted to hang out with my kiddo, and I just decided I'll wait a week, let things digest more, see what other people are up to with deck building and things like that, and kind of learn more new decks, and then go next week. So I wanted to give you guys my thought process and what I plan to do with this format. I plan to learn Ryzel, which I don't think is hard at all. I think I could probably learn Ryzel inside out probably within an hour. It's very linear, it's very helmet, it's just your glue eater deck that doesn't really take much thinking, so anybody can play it. This will be the hard deck to learn Malice. It'll be very difficult because it has so many lines, so it's going to be something that I learn by watching mostly. I'm a visual learner, so I'll probably still try to build Tenpai just so I can sit back and watch Malice players play and combo off and see their lines and everything, and then try and disrupt it with the Tenpai stuff. Now, what are other decks that I want to try? I would love to explore Ryuge with Sword Soul. I'm definitely still holding on to hope for Fire King. I love that deck. I think it's really fun, and its interactions are really cool, so I really want to try that. Voiceless Voice as well. I don't know if I want to run it with Ryzel. I know it seems success in the OCG, but I kind of think that maybe just Ryzel right now, or Ryzel, Voiceless right now is actually pretty strong. So, and I think we saw that at Anaheim before the ban was even hit. So now, Voiceless Voice was in second place after Swiss. Now imagine where it's going to be not having to worry about Tenpai or Fire. What can it do? Can it step up a level? We'll see. And then Centurion. I don't know why, but Centurion like grabbed my attention like 10 days ago. And I've been practicing it every day. And I'll eventually maybe get the confidence to make a deck profile video and do some matches. And we'll kind of see how it goes. And that's just kind of like beginning of a new format, new list, new set. My ideas of like what I want to do. Because to be honest, I've been practicing a lot of Fire King Snake Eye, been messing around with a lot of Tenpai, so I really like started to hone in on those decks, and I was really starting to have a good time with them. Not gonna lie, I kind of deviated away from Voiceless because I just started playing Snake Eye Fire King so much. So I would probably say that I was, leading up to the Banlist, I was averaging between the 28th and the 8th of December, I was probably averaging about 4 matches a day of Snake Eye Fire King. And then maybe like 1 match every other day with Voiceless. And then Tenpai, I would just, as we got closer to crossover coming out, I started like playing probably like 2 or 3 matches a day of that while I was just chilling out at work and just learning what Malice and Ryzel do. And then I want to give you guys kind of like my thoughts, I guess, on Ryzel and Malice now, as of now. Ryzel, I'm not impressed. It's Zodiac 2.0. And it's very degenerate. It's very helmet. Like, people, I've been watching videos on YouTube where people pick that deck up the day of. I think a dude that placed top 4 at Anaheim said he picked the deck up the day before the tourney and practiced that night and then went in top 4 to YCS. But people left and right are like, hey, I just won locals and I picked this deck up an hour before locals. Like, that's how simplistic it is. So if you're going to come at me and say that this deck takes a good pilot, you're wrong. Because you shouldn't be able to do that. Like, Malice is very, very difficult in my opinion. Not because it's a Cyberse deck and it has banishing effects and it's combo oriented and it's all these weavy lines, but a lot of hand traps kind of screw it. So you gotta find a way to navigate. You gotta play the right extenders and you gotta have them. And it's difficult. Tenpai is very much all in. You stop my thing, you only need like 1 or 2 stops to stop it. So, is what it is there. Fire King, I've been messing around with Fire King today, and I've both loved and hated it. I've had some really cool fun interaction matches, and I've had some matches where I'm like, God, it's not even close. Like, this deck can just not stand up. But I got some ideas with it that will help provide extenders. So, the videos to come, you're probably going to see a tier list video where I talk about like the meta decks and what I think about engines and things going into this format. And then you're going to start to see deck profiles. You're going to see maybe a Fire King deck profile for sure, a Ryzel deck profile, and I might play like a match or 2 just to show you how glue eater this deck is. You'll probably see some Centurion stuff because I'm diving more and more into it. You'll definitely see some Voiceless because I just want to see how it matches up right now. And then if I get ballsy, you'll see me mess around with Tenpai and see what we can do. So that's where I'm at right now. Who knows, maybe a deck comes up out of the blue that I wasn't even thinking about that's fun and decent. I've told you guys before that I like to stay in that like tier 1.5 to 2 or rogue category. I don't like to play the best deck. So the chances of you guys seeing me take Ryzel to the locals, if you're here for that, sorry, but I have no interest in doing that. The chances you all will see me Malice to locals, let's get it this way. For me to go locals with a deck, I need to feel confident with it. And I don't think I can get confident with Malice within a time frame of me wanting to go to locals, which is like a week from now. Centurion, I could see it because I've been practicing it for about 10 days. I've been learning it more and more on its lines, but Malice, I don't see that. Fire King, maybe. It just depends on if I can make the build fun and intriguing. But I feel like Centurion stems up more to the meta now than Fire King does. Just my own personal preference. That's not fact. But, yeah. So, anyway, guys, please be kind in the comments. This is just a guy's thoughts on digesting thoughts of a Banlist one day out. Totally subject to change. For all I know, somebody next weekend goes to a regional and wins a regional with Pure Fire King. Somebody goes and wins with Tenpai and figures out, hey, they just gave us 4 deck slots to put this in there and make it insanely broken. Like, who knows? You know, somebody might find an OSS replacement and make Snake Eye Fire King just as powerful. I highly doubt it, but there's a chance there. You never know until we find out. So, I digress. Be kind, be respectful. Please keep it nice in the chat. This is not an area to come and just say, haha, you lost your Tenpai deck, or haha, you lost your Fire deck, or this game sucks now, like, this is a place of peace. I want you guys to know that, because I've been there in those shoes where my deck got destroyed. So, for players who feel that way right now, I've been in your shoes, and it sucks. But it gets better. If you choose to not let that ruin the game for you, and you choose to learn from it, you open your horizons. And that's where I'm at right now. So, anyway guys, that'll be it for me. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.